Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. In this episode, I'm gonna continue on with the spiral script node. I'm gonna just improvise a little bit. Currently, I don't have internet, so I don't have access to the Git, or I don't have any access to the source. So I think I'll have to do something offline. So now, the other day we used this script node Lite called Spiral. Let me quickly have a look from the text editor. Luckily, I've saved this. So SNL Spiral Zeff. So let's investigate this script a little bit. Okay, this is SNL script node Lite by Zeff. So he lifted this code directly from Stack Overflow, and then we have this how many lines of code? We have 52 lines of code and supposed to create like Archimedes spiral. There's the functions, etc. You can have a look how the points got created. The interesting thing is, let me save this real quick first. Spiral improv. If we check it with a fewer draw, see, this is what it's creating. Okay, it's a bunch of points. That's what the script. Most of script that generates, it's actually generating points to create some kind of pattern or like a curve. This is one of them, and we have control over few parameters like the arc, the separation, number of points. Of course, you can animate that. You have the scaling, and that's it. Let's imagine if you want to make like a spiral that goes up. How would you want to do? How do you do that? My first guess is that we can use something like vector math, and this should be like add. See, adding and doing math into the vector is quite common with a procedural workflow. Okay, like now I'm adding this vector in with this spiral. What's gonna happen? So the x seems to be pushing all the points in x-axis, and the y also the same. How about the z? The z is actually pushing the points up. So this is almost like if you are using particles and then you're using force field like gravity. This is more or less the same, except that the points are static. It doesn't have like any kind of side effects like drag, or it's not like a force where it's gonna continuously pushing the points. It's all pretty much static. This is what I like about working with nodes procedurally instead of particles. So how do we push the points one by one, like instead of pushing all the points at the same time? So the other day I tried a range float, and apparently this actually works. See, you see what's happening? This one generates like 10 of the points. Let's use count, and then you see start and stop 0 to 10 and count of 10. So if as I increase the count, you will see the curve started to kind of unveil itself. It's creating kind of like a tornado kind of structure, or like a upside down Christmas tree. If I change this into negative, like -10, and this one to 1 to 0, or still upside down. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's from 10 to 0. Now we have something that looks like a Christmas tree decorations. The count, if we have too much, then we start to introduce a new points. We don't want that. Currently it has, let's say, originally it has 300 points. We can check it using get length or list length. Let's check the data. Stethoscope. It says 300. How about this one? It's how many points we have? 653, because we put 653 here. So that number needs to be the same. So I'm gonna use integer input for this guy and this guy. Alright, so the arc. It's interesting that we have this kind of shapes, which is almost like that building in London. So we have that arc, we have the separation of the points, and we have scale that's gonna affect the whole thing. Scale is very sensitive value. I don't know why. It's better to control the arc. Okay, now what if we want to create some kind of like a very basic Christmas tree? What do we have? If in here we have a cone, and the cone has some options, but with Spreadshop we have the cylinder. Let's check it out. Let's give it like a green color. This should be darker. Okay. Polygon. Maybe 16, and we have the height, control of the height. We have radius bottom and radius top. Okay, I think we are getting there. We just need to ensure the spiral kind of conform to the cylinder. The height. Okay, this is like 10, and this guy is like should be 10 as well. Around the bottom part can be. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, except that it's kind of intersecting a little bit. I guess that's pretty good. Maybe all we need is like a star up here. Sorry, I should have mentioned that I was going to create this like a Christmas tree at the beginning, but this is more like improvisation. So radius top should be like that, and then get rid of the points. Maybe I'll create some subdivision. And I guess this should be a little bit higher actually. With the spiral we can do a little bit more. Of course we can add the points or reduce the points, but we can also add some randomizations. So if we give like randomized input vertices, we should get something like that. That looks like the lamp. Yeah, I was wondering with the with the Christmas tree whether it's a good idea to give like hair simulations. I hardly touch the particle hair, so that's might be a little bit tricky for now. Gonna save this. Let's check with this. Okay, the separations give that control. Scale the arc. The arc. If I increase the arc, then it start to look completely like a different plant. Should be like just a small number. Now let's make like a star. Wonder if we have star. We have star somewhere in the extra objects, I think. Diamond, gem, simple star. Okay, that's exactly what we need. 5 points, outer radius, inner radius. Okay. Give it like a fat star and then the height. I mean, this kind of thing you learned in the previous live noding that you can turn this into a script node, but we're just gonna use this for now. It's like a once-off thing. RY 90 degree. Give it a yellow color, oranges. Alt G and then put it up there. What else? Currently we only have a single Christmas tree. Maybe we can have multiples, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Maybe we can scatter some light around it, or maybe create like a ground. We can try that. Maybe first of all give like a bit of light. So currently it's just a sphere viewer node. I'm gonna switch off the viewer and then gonna create a real objects viewer bmesh. It's gonna be a tree. Plug it in. Okay, now we have this. You can give it a color. Green. Material. Okay, and maybe less specularity. Maybe give it like a bunch of random points here. Switch to particle. I use Blender particles to do the scattering. So this one 100 should be good. 100 points, scatter around the face, random, even distribution. Normal off, physics off, and gravity off. Maybe for the decorations we use a Suzanne head. Yes, we can do that. So the first one, kind of orange. Second one, blue or purplish or pink. Yeah, I think it's quite alright. 1, 2, 3. Control G, group it as instance. Back to this tree, and with the particle we want to use the group and increase the size. So we have all this monkey head for our Christmas tree, and let's randomize the rotations. Maybe just a little bit, because upside down looks really weird. Random size. That's a very strong color. Maybe change it to all bluish color. Sometimes good idea to just use a limited color. It's gonna give you more aesthetic design, aesthetic quality. And then okay, with the tree, maybe we can adjust it slightly. Might need to push the scattered Suzanne head. Wonder if this guy give options to do that. Normal, no, not the normal. Random, nope. Maybe make more of this. It's probably a good idea to use cycles to do this. We don't need the bottom part. Turn off caps. Okay, now we have this. We can actually just use this guy as a dummy, like a dummy emitter, while the Christmas tree can be another, like a tree that's or we can just use this with a hair. Now with this guy, what should I do? Spiral. Perhaps I can scatter some like a sticks around these points. I'll try. Pipe, or let's see. Turn it off. Use viewer draw. Matrix in. And that guy can be just line or random polyline. Pipe. Try line. Interesting that it's facing this way based on the points. Maybe we need to randomize the rotations here. Random vector. Plug into this guy. Okay, the length. Okay, apparently we need the length. This guy, that guy. Random number generator for the angle. Starting to get somewhere. It looks like spike at the moment. Maybe we need to have more. But as I increase the number, our spiral start to look weird. 1000 I think is good. And then scale it down. Yeah, that's pretty decent, right? It's not so, it doesn't intersect too much. Whoa, 0.08. Okay, that's all right. It's pretty decent. That can be the light or something. Now the next thing, we want to create the ground. Okay, with the line we might be able to create pipe, but join the mesh first, just in case it creates like so many. That's using the matrix. Use the matrix apply. Let's go. Didn't work that way. Polyline viewer. And that's not too bad. This one. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't mind it at all. It's just like a pretty random looking. Surface resolution 0. Looks a bit strange, but it's okay. Let's make the ground, I guess, and put some boxes around it. The ground is gonna be, let's say, generator and gone is probably okay. Viewer draw. It becomes a bit slow because of these operations. Maybe it doesn't need to update. It's the ground. Currently a little bit too even. Actually like it to be a little bit more random. Yeah, that's better. Wonder we have like offset. We do have offset, and we can do the extrusion and all kind of stuff. This and polygon vertices, edges. Let's see what we got. So we have this offset kind of thing. This is very useful, by the way. See, out polygon. Yeah, that's better. And then you can actually extrude, separate edges. We can use extrude separate faces, doesn't matter. Like that, I go in 0.1. It's gonna be check the result. I can use different color just to see the difference. So this is the height. So it goes, it can go down. Oh, actually it's doing that. Interesting. It's probably probably not what we want. Scale 1 is okay. See, the offset in is actually better. I guess we can just remove double here. So offset sides. What is the side for? Just one. Radius. So it's giving that extra details. Pretty interesting. Okay, next thing we can do, maybe it should be like super bright. It should be changing color. The star needs to be super bright. Okay, we're nearly done with this Christmas tree creations. I think I'm forgetting something. Let me check. So that's the star. Wonder why the dots is always there. We have the monkey head at the top. Maybe with the Christmas tree I need to randomize it a little bit. More subdivisions. And if I really want to randomize it this way, zero 0.05, 0.088, 0.12. Yeah, adding random is always kind of a good idea. And randomize the monkey a little bit. Just randomize the seed, although that's a little bit screwed there. Maybe smooth this. I think I should use cycles in this case. And for all the mesh here, I need to turn it into a real thing. I'm just gonna bake it, bake, bake, and bake. And we have this. We have the bottom part. This can be the water. It's the brick part. File, save as. Yeah, almost all of them are procedural except for the star. I might need to use the script node for that. Each one of them is actually like a different objects. That might be the one that's slowing things down. Yeah, that's actually, I don't think that's a good idea. I'll get rid of this polyline viewer. Gonna select all the beta, select pattern, beta underscore star, and delete all of them. So now it's a lot lighter. This needs to be fixed. I'm using bmesh, mk2, and bmesh mk2 and merge. Maybe line is not a good idea. Maybe just use a cylinder or something else. This vertices and the polygon caps on matrices. Gonna generate okay, 1000 of this. 16, radius 0.02. It's very spiky. Christmas tree. Height 1, 0.5. I think I need to fix the scale. Okay, that's better, and then we can actually switch to cycles, and then let's see. Emission to yeah, that's better, quite decent. All's missing is the boxes. For the boxes, we can scatter some box around this guy, or we can use the grease pencil thing that we learned the other day. Let's see, grease pencil. Save this, and then new node 3. Import from the desktop. Do I have the JSON somewhere? Crisp and seal. Okay, this guy. Supposedly the box is underneath the Christmas tree, but I'm just gonna put some around here. Oops, they are floating. Well, just need to draw it again. View, top view. Scatter some boxes around here. Still floating. I was thinking that we can actually parent the grease pencil, right? Somewhere here. Onion skinning, tilt, show point, parents. Okay. If I create an empty, I can parent the grease pencil to the empty, and I can move it. It's not actually updating. Interesting. Oh, it's updating after. It's really, really interesting. Okay, anyway, we have this line, and we can scatter some boxes in there. Matrix in. So with this guy, we can use rounded box is cool. In. Matrix can come from this guy. There you go. Some more. It's almost like box. We can resample the grease pencil. And we can randomize the boxes. And give the box different color as well. The random radius from this guy and float. Or maybe it's not affecting. Maybe this guy is not factorized. It's okay, I can use the scale of this guy. So vector into the scale, and I can randomize the scale here. Random number generator. 1, 2, 3. Float. Okay, so we have like bigger boxes and smaller boxes. we can have a random scaling for the boxes. So instead of just one, we have different. More like the stones, but well, I guess that's okay. That's just the basic idea. I'm using grease pencil to kind of scatter the boxes. I can always make changes, you know, like, okay, let's put the grease pencil properly. Grease pencil, stroke placement on the viewport, view, top view. Delete the grease pencil and then just paint some boxes here and updates. Now we get the box over there. So weird. Surface view. Let's paint some grease pencil over there. And then updates. Okay, that's better. That's much better. We can just bake it. Here we have some floating stuff. But that's alright. I guess I made too many of this. It's more like rocks. This guy seems to be too big now. Back to the other guy. Back to the spiral. And just scale this. This guy seems to be changing all the time. Zero 0.087. And then, okay, we don't, I think we have too many of this. Yep, that's quite alright. Just need to test render it. Yeah, I guess that's pretty decent looking scene. If you actually tidy these things up, and then make sure everything's correct, and with the rocks, give it a proper procedural material. The whole things can be procedural, and you can have Christmas scenes just by loading the spreadsheet. I can export the geese, and then yeah, and it should be pretty much done. And with the light here, we can make it changing color or use different color of light. I might actually do that as well. So switch to emission here, color ramp. We have learned this, that we can change to HSV and then counterclockwise, and if you use like a red here and also red here with a height value, plug into there, and then we use a random object info random strings 1.5 because they are all the same objects, so we cannot do it this way. Oh well, maybe you can use noise. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting thing we can do with procedural shader. Okay, with the star, just use nodes, emission, and make it bright. I found that just plugging the emissions is giving like a light like that, but if we use like a ambient occlusion and kind of mixing the shader, it might give like a little bit more detail. Yeah, that's our procedural Christmas tree. It's a pretty basic Christmas tree actually, but we create the ground and we create all these boxes, and then we kind of create this weird light. The star itself is not procedural, but it can be procedural. It's pretty easy. I just need to check the nodes. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to show you in this live noding. It's quite a long one, hopefully this is useful for you. If you have any comments, feedbacks, you can leave it down below. I'll see you in the next video.